Good morning, everybody. So my name is Majesty Angel. So today is Monday. Today's a new week filled with different new opportunities as we are shifting in gears. I always like to say, I don't like bringing yesterdays into my todays. Right? I was arguing with, not really wasn't arguing with nobody on Twitter, but somebody said, "What's the difference between?" But how did they say it? What's the difference between yesterday and today? What's the difference between yesterday and today, right? The difference between tomorrows can bring so many different things. Tomorrows can tomorrows can bring revelations on the different things that we have been thinking about, asking about, praying about, right? So on my shorts, I'm running a powerful shorts, right? My new shorts that I just uploaded. Right now, for a lot of people, it's going to come off very differently. But for some, if you understand, you understand, right? I'm very, very selective how I talk. I speak like Jesus. I speak in parables. For those who understand will get it, because I feel like a lot of people are looking for cheat codes, right? I don't like giving out cheat codes because I never got received the cheat code. Everything that I received, I sat back and I studied it, I learned it, or I was around certain people who planted different seeds within my vessel for me to go after and chase after things. What I do know is all 4,000, what is it, 4,726 people who are following me. I believe that all of you guys are very blessed. All of you guys are very chosen. And what I love about my community that I'm starting to gather all across my social media is that we are different, right? For, I don't know why I was about to say, for I sit at the head, meaning I sit at the head, but we're all sitting at a council where we all could come together. We all should be able to express our things, and we all should be able to teach and learn from each other. That's why I always preach on my YouTube channel that I don't come up here, and I would never come up here and try to convince people to be like me. But most importantly, I want to convince people to be more like their self, to live in their highest timeline, to be truth tellers, right? And to believe on things that you stand on. Right now in the world, we are going through something that's so. I look at it like, oh, okay, thank you, Spirit. I look at it like Harry Potter, like it's a fairyland, right? You know how it's like a veil, and only those who see past the veil will actually see what we're dealing with. My job is, because I was sent. That's why I always say thank you, Lord, thank you, God, thank you, ancestors, you know, thank you, spirits, for sending me, because we all have our own mission, and we all cannot be alike. You heard what I said? We all cannot be alike because we have different things, and you can't be like the next person and the next person to accomplish everything that you need to accomplish. So I put our master on different levels. This is why I can never be convinced otherwise, and this is why I can never let anybody else convince me, because I have did my own research. I did my researches on a lot of different things that people say are not good. You know what I mean? And I found my own understanding of a lot of different things. But when you are fighting different wars, and when you are fighting different spiritual wars, you need to know how to be able to, uh, thank you, Spirit. You need to know how to be able to attack. Yo, let me tell you something, world. Let me tell you something, everybody that's following me. I speak a special blessing. I speak a special covering. And I speak a special activation this morning for only those, right, who are going to tap into it is going to receive a confirmation that they need, right? You have so many people who, fuck, you have so many people who don't want to be like these people, but they want to be, I'm going to say it like how Spirit is telling me. You have so many people who don't want to be like these people. Some people want to be a wizard. I'm keeping it a buck. Some people want to be this. Some people want to do that because they feel more comfortable in this lane. They feel more comfortable because it resonates. That's why I always say you cannot preach certain things to people for certain things just might not resonate with them. Right? I always like to say sometimes you have to go back and look at your family tree. You're like, what are you talking about? Look at your family tree. Really. Go, and this is why I get so mad, and this is why I want to make sure within my bloodline, right? Within my bloodline, within my grandkids and my great-great-grandkids and my great-great-grandkids, they know what we practice. You heard what I said? For some people have been led astray to practice certain things that they have no fucking business practicing. Now, I run a podcast, and it's called Truth First. For I speak only but the truth, and this is why I am the most controversial influencer, public speaker, motivational speaker in the industry right now, is because I will never tell the masses what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. So did you hear what I said? If people really honestly do not know what their lineage was within their bloodline, of the things that they honored, right, and gave thanks to, for throughout centuries, people have been stripped from their religion and placed a new one, right? I'm just saying, I'm telling you the truth, right? You are dealing with very tricky, manipulative um, things and stuff like that. I want to be careful because last time when I was on here, well, YouTube, y'all should like this one. Y'all shouldn't be cutting my shit this time. Last time I was on here, YouTube straight finished my live, right? But I want to tell YouTube, and I want to tell the people who's listening in, who controls the on button and the off button. For I am not like the world, and I am not like you guys, right? I am not a fucking puppet. You like, what the fuck? No. I'm going to keep telling the people what the fuck they need to hear. So, on my channel, I want to produce different people because different people have different things to do. We're all playing a whole big part of the circle of life, right? I'm a firm believer of when people make decisions, and you better be careful of these freaking decisions that you make, right? I'm going to say the biggest thing. I'm going to say the biggest thing ever, right? And I'm really up for it, right? The industry has been housed and has been doing things for so long. Please, right? Please, 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 please. And if you think I'm lying, go back and look at it. Everybody, right? Oh, shit. Okay. This is going to be the most craziest shit that's about to come out of my mouth, right? But I love the Illuminati. You like, what the fuck? Listen, I love all the different secret societies, right? Because different houses play different parts of different knowledge that they have consumed. Other they got it righteously, because remember, when you're dealing with different things that have been around for different centuries, What is a secret society? A secret society are different chambers of different things that have obtained different knowledge that is kept from the masses, right? Everything that's playing a part upon this land. That's why I always say people are failing miserably, and this is why people are being housed. Damn, I wasn't supposed to say that. In different sectors, right? Now, I seen this one girl on YouTube. She kind of threw me off just a little bit, right? For she said that she came back in the flesh of a different deity. Now, when you hear people say stuff like that, some people think that they are crazy. I listen and I pay attention. Now, what I believe is people are so some people are so thirsty for knowledge, or some people are, yeah, they thirsty for knowledge and they want to tap into different things. Now, this girl, maybe she onto something, but she just looked a little bit possessed to me. And you like possessed is because when you are, what is a possession? A possession is when my body is not strong enough to fight off a presence, or where now I'm letting another entity possess my body to obtain all the different things that I didn't have spiritually, right? For in different biblical words and different biblical things, a lot of different things have to happen. It's like everything that's being shown, right? You see how the television, right? For the people who are performing, right? They're damn it. They're telling something, things that are going to come to pass. Now, I don't know. Okay, be careful of those who say, I might get the biggest backlash for this, right? But I'm gonna say it. As much as she wants to lie about it, Nicki Minaj was part of the fucking Illuminati's. I don't care about none of that. She was a part of something, a deal that didn't go right, right? For I be telling people, look at the proof. Everybody knows the signs. Everybody knows the tag. It's right there in Super Bass. When she was singing Super Bass and she covered her one eye. When she was on the red carpet dressed as a nun and the other guy. These are ritual things and things that you are um accepting, bringing on. For this is what people did back there, but you guys didn't know. So as we speed up a couple of years now, or certain people, right? Because you see it with Kanye West. Kanye West is telling everything. He brought Candace Owens into everything, right? For a lot of people don't know, ever since Candace, right, the most controversial journalist, number one podcast in the world, ever since she told the world that Kanye West gave her some information that can destroy something, right? She has been getting ridiculed, right? People need to pay attention and stop being so minute. And that's what I have a problem for. That's what I got a problem with, right? Because she signed a fucking contract. I'm talking about Nicki Minaj. I'm for real. And she was like, bitch, I ain't do none of that. Yes, it is. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. Now, what I believe is when certain people, because you see it, people have been saying it, right? Right. When you have crossed the line to the sectors of whatever, and you have got knee deep into whatever, or however it goes, right? Because different practices and different things have been happening since the Roman times, since the Egyptian times, since the Mayans, shit like that, you know. You have it over there in Mexico. You see all of these temples and all of these ruins. Over there in the Mayan section, they have a whole sector where it's different parts of different skeletons and different things like that from different sacrifices that have been made on this planet. The oldest religion on this planet is the serpent religion, right? Throughout the United States, they have a different place where it's a mound and it goes as long as a serpent. It's different places over in different parts of the world where they talk about 3 different serpents and they live in this mountain. And these people do not go over there and mess with them. This earth, the earth, right, for they say is around 1 billion, whatever, so long, right? For this earth has been through different phases of different timelines of different things. It says it in the Bible, and that's what kind of opened up my eyes. If people are really right, because I'm a knowledge seeker, right? But I don't take my knowledge that I get and manipulate the fucking masses. Like, you know how people they want to obtain and they want to get certain stuff, and then Andrew Tate he said something about on Twitter how people going to create or criticize Elon Musk or whatever, and they never created anything in their life or whatever. No, what's happening is even for fucking Andrew Tate, right? And this is why Andrew Tate is on his last motherfucking straw, for he said it out his mouth, right? It's 3 deaths. It's 3 deaths. It's one when they assassinate your character. That's what they did to him. It's one when they put your ass in jail. That's what they did to him. He's on his last straw, where something is going to happen. Now, what's so crazy about Elon Musk is I really don't know what they were talking about, but I really don't have a problem with Elon Musk like that. You know what I mean? I feel like through this whole run with him and Donald Trump and everything, I feel like it slowed him the fuck down and made him be a little bit more conscious, right? And a little bit worried about where he's going to back certain people moving forward, right? But when you are talking about a pyramid, right? Because I always talk about pyramids. You have the top, you have the middle, and you have the bottom, right? And what's happening is you have more people who now want to figure it out, right? And I always like to say, right? And that's what I love because I studied the law of the universe, right? Right? People need to start studying shit that people say is forbidden. Like, you like, what the fuck? When you start studying shit that people tell you to stay away from, when people tell you to stay away from certain shit, it's because it's knowledge there. Meaning it's knowledge for you to obtain it. Not meaning knowledge for you to obtain it to corrupt and manipulate the knowledge that you have gained for control. Even though it is, but I always feel like it's penalties, right? And this is why I don't say that, but this is why people will always fall on their own sword because of the way that they move. But you have some people who have came to um like an agreement with the shit, right? Now you have a lot of people, right? For that's why I love me because my channel is just so different, and I love it like that, right? I'm not coming up here fraudulent about nothing because I'm different. I'm gonna be like these motherfuckers. You like why? Because if you really knew your DNA code within your body, it means that we have our own special code of the things that we can tap into within ourselves, right? And what I'm noticing is a lot of people they want information, right? So guess what? Guess where they go? They go seek out spiritual people, or they go, want to go to a tarot card person. And I always say for You really need to be careful when you are so, you know, open to shit like that, right? Because people don't know who I am. I know who the fuck I am. I need people to understand who you are because you have so many people who are impersonating good light beings, meaning good light beings is those who are spiritual, those who when you go to seek for counsel, it's like the oracles. Like that's what I look at tarot card people, like psychics and shit. We are oracles, right? We're going to go, we're going to do certain things. Back in the day and different things, this is where people have been going. You've seen it on different movies. You've seen it on 300 Spartans. How he went all the way up and he went to the oracles. Different movies and different things that we have seen on TV. It's either, if you go back and see old clippings, it's actually showing you different things that are going to come. And you have new movies now that's showing you the things that's going to come in the future, right? Now, with Kanye West, right? Because everybody want to say this, that, and the third, right? Right? But and even though he's coming against a system or whatever that he agreed to, right? He agreed to certain terms and things. It's just that you're like, Angel, what? No. Because he said that they killed his mother. No, motherfucker. You killed your mother because you understood, and that's the price of greed that the people are paying, right? Like when I ran into the whole thing with the singer David and shit, I haven't even heard anything else about it, right? And you have other different people and shit like that. Like you have Epstein, like the Epstein file and all that other shit. Niggas want to keep talking about open it up, open it up, open it up. They're never going to open that Epstein file. You know why? Because it's too many high influential people that's fucking in this Epstein thing. And only why I say that is because you have to go back. And I always say, well, who is the blame of this, right? People, us, us, us. And because what I'm seeing is, right, can I say this? YouTube, please don't stop my shit. I'm trying to be sensitive here, but I don't know how to say it no other way. I feel like, right, because even when like like the Michelin stars and the ladies and shit like that, this lady who I knew, like my grandmother and all her friends, they was like, what's that, something stars, the sororities with the women. Miss Leola, she funny, right? And she told me a little bit of the ritual or whatever. So since she told me of the ritual, I'm not gonna get up here and tell the ritual because she wasn't supposed to tell me. But she was about 85 years old or whatever, right? So I'm not gonna tell it because I know how to hold my tongue. Certain shit is just not meant for the public. People have to get access to it. That's like a 33rd Mason. Like my grandfather and my great grandfather were 33rd Masons, right? They also help, create a lodge back home. They had a big part of it. And how do a person become to a 33rd Mason? It takes a very, very long time because he's studying and he's obtaining different knowledge of enlightenment, right? Like Illuminati is illumination, right? To illuminate, to enlighten your awareness of different things that you need to know for yourself, right? For everybody don't want to pay attention to it, but the alignments of the planets and the stars and the different calculations, right, have, mm, that's a good thing, right? Let me tell you something. I wanted to say this. I'm going to go back to it, right? Everybody talk about extraterrestrials and shit like that, right? I believe in extraterrestrials. You know why I believe in it? Because we live on Earth. We live on Earth. If we watch spaceships and shit go out of this planet, which I really believe, that's when NASA fucked up, because we really wasn't meant to build spaceships. We really wasn't meant to be going to the fucking moon. We really wasn't meant to be going out of our different layers. For every time we go in and out of Earth or whatever, it messes up what's going on. But what caused the attention of extraterrestrials is when they created the first bomb, right? That's when they started to get a lot of different sightings and shit, right? Because you have to look at it, right? So, damn, I don't want to keep going, because it's like going into a rabbit hole that some people's minds cannot comprehend. And I don't want to be talking and then like, okay, you can't really comprehend it, but you have to look at it, right? For when they first did that, that brought the awareness of other civilizations. Because if you drop a fucking bomb, the same way if these astronauts can go out of space and they could look down and they could see the little specks and shit of the, different cities and shit. What do you think that when you drop a bomb or whatever, it's not going to bring the awareness to it, right? Because, and it's so crazy, and that's how I always look at it. For how can you try to enslave something, right, that is so far out of this world? It's just like, y'all dummies, y'all want to keep going in and out of space, you know what I mean? And this is why when a lot of astronauts and a lot of people who are at the space station or whatever, when they first go in there, they were saying that they were seeing all these different objects, because now you're leaving Earth and you're going to somebody else's home. So as you're traveling and as you're going to somebody else's home in somebody else's backyard, they're looking at you like that. And I always said that, for when Donald Trump said, we're creating a space task force, nobody else started talking about this. My ears was the only ones that went up. What the hell he needs to create a space task force, right? And I always look at it for always, this is a beacon. This is a beacon to ETs. This is a beacon to Russia, China, Pakistan, all of that. No, listen. And only why I'm saying this, and I'm not doing no treason and shit, because when you have people who are responsible for 1.2 billion lives, and you got Donald Trump right now, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Everything is crazy. Everything is crazy. There's no way in hell that the United States of America should have ever been in a shutdown for 37 days. There's no way in hell that the federal workers should have ever went without a paycheck. But you gotta look at it. This shit should humble y'all. And you like, what is it? For even those who sit at a high position will fall by the sword too. So now it's like it's evening out. But 37 days, and then not on top of that, I really didn't know that 42 million people was on fucking food stamps. I'm gonna keep saying this shit. I did not know that. I knew that it's a recession. You're like, what is it? It is a recession where people are only paying now. People are only paying now to live somewhere. That's the most expensive thing, is your rent and food. Rent, food, car insurance. So niggas is just living to pay rent, their car insurance, and food. They no longer have money to spend on anything else, because their main income is going to where they live at. And that's crazy. And this is why you have a lot of different people scattered throughout United States of America in search of a city that's a lot cheaper. Now, New York City, y'all just elected this terrorist. You like, what the fuck? I am a spiritless person. Nothing underneath this sun could tell me otherwise. For the new mayor that they just elected in New York City, say whatever you want, his energy is so messed up. For I didn't appreciate that racist ass speech that he did after winning his election. But I tell people, for people will only portray long enough until they get something for when they flip on you. Because a nigga did the same shit to me. They acted like they loved me. They acted like they cared about me. They act like they had their best wishes for me until they got what they got, and then they flipped on me and they turned their back on me, right? For he said something that's crazy. And I was just saying this to Mr. Jim the other day. For how are you going to attack the wealth? For the wealthy people in New York City are the ones who keep the fucking city running. Now, do that shit make it right? No, it does not make it right. But you have to be an honorable man to know the difference when to hold your tongue. And a lot of people do not know the difference of being an honorable man, being an honorable woman, and having enough sense to hold your fucking tongue when you are supposed to be the leader over your pack. And this is where I'm sent in to be like, hold on. For that was the most racist speech I ever seen, I ever heard, because he's talking about immigrants. Now let's go to here. For in Chinatown, black people can't move into Chinatown. I'm just saying. Over there in Brooklyn, Eastern Parkway, and all that other shit. Black people can't move over there with them Jewish people. Over here, Far Rockaway, back over here, and all that other shit. Over there, Hempstead, and all that other shit. Black people can't move over there. Over there, and Bangladesh, and all that other shit. Other people can't move in there. So you're talking about immigrants who are also racist within different communities who don't even mess with people like that. So it's not only immigrants who make New York City, but it's all of us as a collective. And what I didn't appreciate was that he is so retarded, right? Because he should have never started out his new administration attacking Donald Trump, right? Because you're really taking the real true things away from New York City. And then now you asking for money after you just said that you're going to tax 2% of the rich people and this, that, and the third. But now everybody who you just assassinated, now you need your help. For that should have been the biggest lesson for everybody to pay attention to. Learn how to hold your tongue. You see that shit with Nicki Minaj? Fuck that. I'm going to talk about it, right? And anybody else. When people who, and you're like, why am I saying that? Because when you get mad, you cannot cowardly destroy the fucking foundation. I don't like shit like that. That's like 4 of us did the crime. I got caught, so I'm going to take everybody down. You understand the concept or whatever? Or I feel like I'm getting the last ending of the stick. So you know what? I'm going to tell everybody's fucking secrets. There's no loyalty in that. For people are breaking underneath pressure and now they're telling everybody business, right? I always feel like if I did something with you and I'm no longer fucking around with you, anything that we have done, I'm taking that shit to the grave, right? And you don't have people like that. You have people that getting mad and they're fucking up everybody else's shit. That's not right. That's how I look at it. For you're going to get karma for doing shit like that. You knew, and that's why I always said, people knew what the fuck they signed up for. People are mad. It's like that, right? When somebody first give you a contract or whatever, and they say, okay, you're going to get $20 million a year. Not knowing, because you were so thirsty and you were so greedy for that, if you would have actually paid attention and you actually would have came into something instead of signing up for 20 million, actually not knowing that actually this shit is actually worth 100 million. So now since I signed for 20 million, and now in all reality I signed for 20 million, but this shit is actually 100 million, you can't come back negotiating the fucking terms and the price. For this is what you signed up for. And this is what's happening, right? For a lot of different things. I'm just saying that's just a majority of the things. But when you are dealing with something and something bigger than that, you can't. That's why And a lot of people got mad at me. It was just a whole bunch of shit that was going on with this whole. Yo, it's crazy how that whole beef on the internet, yo, it trickled down and it opened so much that a lot of people don't know. A lot of people lost money off of that shit, right? A lot of people lost money, opportunity, followers, because it only takes one certain situation, one major event, to let the world know and let the right people see how you act accordingly, how you act, what you say out of your mouth, and the shit that you think that you would try to destroy. I always tell people, people don't be believing me. They don't be believing me, right? We know, yes, God is real. He is real. He is real. He is real. But it's also rules and regulations, right? Elon Musk said something that was so powerful on Twitter. He said that, what the fuck I'm trying to say it right. He said that it's 6 people or it's a couple people who are billionaires, something, something, something. He said he don't even know who the fuck these people are. Did you hear what I said? Something about a group of people who are billionaires, trillionaires, something, something, something. He don't even know who it is. It's people on this earth, bloodlines. Look at it. You know, I was really amazed, right? Because I always said that between Cain and Abel, between Cain and Abel. I always said, what happened to Cain? You know, the brother who killed his brother in the field. What happened to that bloodline? His bloodline has been around for centuries. His descendants, his followers, his different allegiance. It's different allegiance and different bloodlines that have been on this planet for a very, very long time. It's different powers at play that have been on this earth a very long time. It's secrets and all types of stuff. Man, I would love to go to the Vatican. The Vatican Museum. For the Vatican has so many different artifacts, so many different things that they have. I'm telling the truth. Now, you might just click me off now. The Vatican has stolen so many different things and have locked that shit up in a vault because they don't want the world or different people to know. You understand what I'm saying? The biggest question is, why are all the major pyramids all aligned on different pinpoints throughout the world that give off different energies, right? Our body, our spirit, our soul, it's an energy, it's a force. Different things have been being created, right? Everybody want to keep talking about cloning and shit. Do I believe in cloning? I do. I believe in cloning. I believe in a whole bunch of stuff. Once Stargate and Liongate and shit start putting shit on TV, I know it's already there. That shit makes me want to go back and watch The Simpsons from the first episode. For they said whoever created The Simpsons is a fucking traveler, a future teller, right? Certain things are left, but hey, this world that we see it is, it's fighting something spiritual. A lot of people don't understand, a lot of people don't know, but I'll tell you like that. Everybody is responsible for their house, meaning their home, and their house, meaning the way that they think, the way that they act, and the way that they perform. For the way that you think, the way that you act, and the way that you perform is the way that you are going to be judged and the things that are going to be handed to you. Okay? So yeah, this morning I just started my new week off. Just being myself. I love who I am. I will never suppress myself, and I will never turn myself off because of them. You like, what? Yeah, them. People are threatened and people are bothered by people who are, who are just, I don't know, they just different. So when I come on here and I say, listen, I'm not trying to be like nobody because my assignment and things that I have to do is totally different. and the way that I'm acting and the way that I'm speaking probably can resonate with somebody else. Like, okay, I'm not the only person that's thinking like that. Okay, so it's not wrong for me to think like that. So no, it's not wrong. Shit, if you want to run around with a cape, no, but I'm saying, if you want to run around like a cape and you want to act like you Dracula and stuff, just be careful. Don't be running around trying to drink everybody's blood. Everybody's blood is not good. Listen, I'm being for real. Because I seen this whole episode of these people down there in New Orleans, how they, how they be going around, they be doing all this and stuffed up. But I believe in a lot of different things. I believe in a lot of different things that people say are not real. How the fuck that can't be real, right? This planet had dinosaurs. You know what I mean? This planet had dinosaurs, mammoths and shit. You know what I mean? Big ass turtles and fish. We see the shit in the museum. So how can anything other that they have said was on here can't be true? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. You have a lot of different biblical places, and especially when I seen that rock that they said Moses crack or something like that. Like stuff like that is amazing. So, you know, when these other influencers or content creators, you want to be like me, like, bitch, I never want to be like none of y'all motherfuckers. I'm serious. I'm me. You like, no, because you have people like that for, I always like to say my mind is as big and as wide as the ocean. From always searching and I'm always seeking different things. For I can never be, suppressed. And I know it's something very weird that's going on or whatever. Or, because, churches is not, I've been here in New York City for a very, very long time. Probably only 2 churches that I've been through, and out of the experience of the churches, it's like, that's what I always say. When these Christians be like, he's a devil worshiper. He's this, that, and the third. Don't do that. And me, when I went to work on Sunday, because I work all the time, but when I seen a man get pushed away and humiliated disgracefully on the footsteps of the church, I thought that shit was a myth. And they walked past him and was talking shit to him as they were going in the church to praise a God that y'all are saying that these niggas over here that are Satanists, don't listen to them, they're Satan, they devil worshippers. I couldn't believe it. I was out there hollering and screaming. And I was looking in my bag trying to get this man all types of money. And the lady gonna say, you're always here every Sunday. I said, so what if he's here every Sunday? He's right here every Sunday in front of the church. Okay, whatever. He knows if he come here every Sunday, he knows it's going to Iblis. This man was out there for a while. I asked him, I said, my brother, how many people give you money? He said, only one. I said, only one out of the whole church gave this man money. Man, I took his money with my money and I blessed him in front of the church. Some people I wish that are undercover angels. You know how many people are failing miserably for their entertaining? You're entertaining an angel. You're entertaining somebody who could have brought you so many different blessings and opportunities. Just like people who be on the trains and on the buses, somewhere in a restaurant, anywhere. You don't know who you're sitting next to. I don't know who's listening to me right now. You know what I mean? But I'm real and this is what's happening. A lot of people, they're so fucking wicked. I don't really like saying snakes like that because I learned about the serpent, religion, different things on here. So for a lot of different things that a lot of people say that are bad, I'm like, no, that's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, they believed in certain different things, different practices, like pagans and different stuff like that. Like, I believe in a lot of things. I believe in the gods. I believe in a whole bunch of things. How? It's in the Bible. God said in the Bible, thou shalt not put any other gods, Gods, before me. So that's letting you know that it was other different beings and presence here on this earth. And he's telling us that it was different things, but he's commanded that I am one. You know what I mean? So other people practice other different things. Right? We really won't know until we close our eyes. You know what I mean? Until that presence or whatever come for us. But don't back out of it. That's how I always say. Right? Right. It's always good. What's repentance is forgiveness. When you are saying I'm sorry for doing certain things, that's what repentance is. Repenting against my ways, my thoughts, my actions and shit like that. So that's all I gotta say. So this morning I'm just reflecting on who I am. You know, I put in my comments, I put, yo, I'll fight everybody. You like, what you talking about? Because people out here trying to steal people's energies. I see it, right? People out here still stealing your energies. And I say today, for anybody who is trying to steal my energy, you have been definitely blocked off, or I blocked off everybody, right? Nah, because people are stealing your blessings, people are stealing your abundance, people are stealing your success, and they're bringing it back to other people. For real. They're bringing it back to their family. They're bringing it back to their wife. They're bringing it back to their husband. They're bringing it back to wherever. And if you don't know that, then what is my job? So that's why I'll fight everybody. You come around here fucking around over here. That's why you have to be prayed up. That's why you have to keep your space protected. And if you don't know, I'm telling you that. For it's a penalty of really tapping into somebody's shit without their fucking permission. That's why I always say a lot of people think having sex with people, like these dumbass rappers and shit like that, these fast ass women having multiple sex with multiple partners. People are taking your blessings from you. They're taking your blessings and they're depositing thousands and thousands and thousands of souls that they have slept with, and wonder why niggas can't act right. They wilding out. They have a crazy ass spirit. It's because of the nigga who you just laid with. This nigga that laid down what I'm just saying. If a nigga that had sex with 100 women, 200 women, this, that, and the third, and he don't know how to properly detach that shit and clean his energy, that mean now when you sleep with me, motherfucker, I'm about to sleep with a million bitches. So now you about to give me all of their problems, all of their worries. You know what I mean? Not on top of that, you're bullshit. That's what happens when you lay down and you have sex with people. That's what happens when you lay down and you have sex with people who have multiple partners and go around and they think that shit is fun. You got people sharing women and shit like that, having threesomes, all this other shit. So now y'all just cross-contaminating each other. So who fault is it? Yours? Because now all of a sudden this nigga done slept with this bitch. Her bloodline is just cursed from birth. You like, bitch, some people are cursed from birth. They have different curses that roll over to a different lifetime and in a different lifetime and a different lifetime. So everything that this bitch touch, it won't prosper. This is why when certain people are with certain people, shit wasn't working right. And then now all of a sudden you got with this blessed bitch, and now all of a sudden you get new business ideas. Shit is starting to take off and different this because you tapped into a different resource, right? Because this bitch ain't worth shit. I don't give a fuck if she went to school, she got an education, she got money, she got this, that, and the third. How is her spiritual ranking? How is her past life? That's just like people. I gotta thank this brother on my TikTok because he was talking about spiritual wives. Meaning, if you lay down with a woman who's not chosen, and then you lay down with a woman who is chosen, meaning if your wife is a heir to the throne, but she don't have chosen blood, but the fucking maid that you sleep with, her bloodline is chosen. Who the fuck, what baby you think is gonna come before one? And that's the realization of it. You have people who are having spiritual babies. What's a spiritual baby? A spiritual baby brings new blessings, break generational curses and shit. Cause people bloodlines have been fucked up for crazy for the longest. You don't know back in that time, your ancestor, whoever, they just did something just so filthy. That's why nothing works. That's why, have you ever noticed when you stop messing around with him, you stop messing around with her, your life lights up like a fucking sun. It lights up. Ah. That's because that nigga, that bitch was, she was cursed. So now when you notice that, then you have to take your power and do what you need to do. Right? Be careful. You like, be careful. I don't know why I'm saying that, right? For people now know who you are, they have an assumption of who you are or whatever, and people are going to start looking at people crazy. I don't know where I got that. 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 I don't know where somebody's about to go. Somebody's about to go into a different house, a different home. Where is this coming from? Okay, let's go. So I've been on here long enough. I've been on here almost an hour. Nobody's here, but it's okay. Those who need to hear it will understand it. Those who need it will get it, right? I am who I am. I love everybody who rocks with me. I want everybody who follow me. I want you guys to be different, right? Be different. I don't mind the the criticism or whatever, you know. Everybody have the right to feel how they feel, you know. But I'm just letting you guys know this now. My channel is very, very different, right? I'm never judgmental. I will never attack nobody for who they are, what they want to do, how they want to believe and shit like that. You know, one of my girlfriends, Rebecca, she's a witch, right? She always been like that. She practiced. I haven't talked to her in a long time, but I just remember us growing up as a kid. She was like that. You know what I mean? So you have people, and then you have, you know, a lot of people, you know, a lot of witches and shit like that. You know, they were killed from practicing different things. And then you had a lot of innocent women back in the day who was also killed and shit. And they wasn't nothing. Right? All right. So everybody have a great Monday. If you have the opportunity to fix whatever was broken, fix it. You know what I mean? Don't. Cause I don't know how people. If you know that you did something wrong, if you have wronged somebody, you know, make it right. You know what I mean? That's how I like to do it. You know, that's why when I wake up in the morning, when I go to sleep at night, I know I didn't do nothing wrong to nobody. I always like to treat people very righteously and just and fair. For I will never hold nothing over nobody's head. So when I go to sleep at night, I sleep good no matter what. Right? Because I'm living in my truth. I'm very, very honest. Either you're going to accept me or you don't, right? That's the choices that people make, right? So be who you need to be. Live as strong and as good as you need to. Is there anything else that I need to talk about? No, just keep paying attention to the bullshit that's being seen. You know, everybody have the right, you know, people have the right. People have the right to fight good. People have the, you know, the right to be bad. You know, it's all about it. But we're in a very, very unorthodox timing and things, you know what I mean? And people, I feel like people are, some people, I don't know why I feel it's about to be humiliated. I don't know where I heard that for. Some people are being humbled. And I don't know what's going on with all these fucking women being very, very fucking delusional. And I'm going to say this again. I don't know why some of these girls think that pretty privilege is the new thing, right? Because now you're saying that everybody's ugly, right? Everybody, yes, everybody is not everybody's liking, right? But do that make people ugly? No. Because even somebody who you might be calling ugly or the worst might have the most beautiful soul. That's how I am. I see beauty within monsters. That's just how I am. You know what I mean? And you like Angel. Even a serial killer, whatever, somewhere in that crazy ass mind of him, he have some type of a beauty within him. He has some type of a awareness or something. You know what I mean? And you just have some people who are just empty souls. You know what I mean? And you can tell when you look at them, it's just nothing there. They're just gone. They're just done for. And these are the people who can be um, manipulated. But I always look at, we all have a purpose to serve. What's your purpose? How are you going to serve it? You know what I mean? I'm just not in that season uh, of chasing and doing all that other stuff. Like I'm cool. So you guys have a great day. This was very beautiful. I hope that whoever needs this message hear it. I speak nothing but balance, enlightenment over people to live in their highest potential, and to be who you're calling who God is calling you to be. You cannot be like everybody. You cannot do what everybody do. You have to figure out what's good for you. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. I get ridiculed all the fucking time. I'm crazy. I'm far stretched. But then I love when I hear people say, I like you. I like that. That's dope. That's cool. Like, wow. I'll be like, okay, cool. I'm not by myself. You'll be surprised who else thinking who's almost just like you. You know what I mean? And that's what's the beautiful thing, because spirit is sending people who you're just alike. Like, oh my god, oh my god, this nigga's just like me. She's just like me. He's just like me. Like, oh my god, like, where have you been all of my life? Okay, until next time. It was a pleasure.